Welcome to Keto is the worst, but I believe that if done properly, a low carb lifestyle is not only healthy, but it is sustainable and not at all restrictive. So, what are we doing today? I am making scallops in a creamy garlic sauce, I guess. I'm gonna put that over broccoli, and yeah, I think that's about it. We can get into it. I've never made scallops before, and we're gonna try this. I'm gonna put a whole bunch of things together and see how it comes out.
So to keep going with what I was saying in the intro, yeah, I'm still new to cooking. Like, it's been about a year now, but these are some recipes that I like to add in. So if I like it, I add it to my meal prep. If I don't, I try again or try something different. But for the most part at this point, whenever you put stuff together, it's gonna come out edible, and there's not the point of eating just to make sure it's edible. I might be wrong though. Flavor doesn't matter, right? I'm talking a lot right now. So what I have been doing is that I had some peppers from an earlier video that I shot on the same day, and I'm cutting up about 1/4 of an onion, and a few cloves of garlic are going to be minced up. The prep for this one is super simple. So after you're done with this step, you can pretty much heat up a pan, and we are going to start seasoning the scallops. You don't want to season them too early, just a little bit at the beginning, and get the pot hot enough so that they can get a good sear and good crust on each side, but you don't want to overcook them. So it's going to be a couple minutes per side, 2 to 3, and you could flip and you'll be able to see when they're done. This with the usual salt, pepper, and garlic powder, a little bit on each side. I'm putting olive oil into this pan. I usually cook with avocado oil, but since this is a garlic and creamy kind of sauce, I thought that it goes better with olive oil and that stronger flavor. So now I am putting these scallops into the pan. Just keep it in order so you know what order to flip them, and don't crowd them. About halfway through, you realize that you need tongs because oil does splatter and does get on your hands. Now I'm putting in about a tablespoon of butter. I just cut it into 3 pieces so I can spread it around a little bit more evenly. Spread it out. After about 2 to 3 minutes, these should be ready to flip. That is the color of the crust that you are looking for. So at 2 to 3 minutes per side, this first batch is done, and I'm going to take them off and go to the next one, depending on how many you have. Add a little bit more butter if necessary. We're about to start the sauce now, so put the scallops to the side, cover them to let them rest, and this is technically a 1-pot recipe because everything goes into this same pan. We want to use all of that was left on the bottom of the pan. So now we're going to place our onions into it. It's always a good idea to salt your onions as well so that they sweat a little bit and release some of their moisture. If you can scrape up that stuff from the bottom, you can add a little bit more butter. Sometimes people add water or some type of broth, but for me, I'm just adding about half a tablespoon of butter more, and gonna try to take some of that off because that is where a lot of the flavor of this is in that residue that the scallops left. Now I just left a little hole open for the garlic so it can cook alone before I mix it in with the rest of it. And now just let it simmer and sit. It's time to add the heavy cream. I'm adding about 3/4 of a cup. The seasonings I'm using for this are salt, pepper, red pepper flakes, garlic powder, parsley, and oregano. So I don't know if you guys have watched some of my other videos, but the reason I'm stirring this so consistently here and for so long is because I think at this moment it's going to help me get a thicker sauce, because my past few sauces have been watery. But the mistake that I do make is about to come very soon, which is putting your vegetables directly into your sauce to cook, which releases a lot of liquid into the sauce and will make it very watery, because the consistency I had right there was exactly what I wanted. And then in the 10 minutes that I leave this alone, it is a disaster. Did you catch it? That was the other mistake, where I put the lid on and it steams it up and none of the moisture can escape, so then you get a liquidy sauce. So 2 points: cook the broccoli separate and then toss it in the sauce when it's cooked to the desired texture that you would like your broccoli at.
So now that this is back in, see, this is like a soup. Let's do this differently. Oh, maybe if I put some cheese in, that's what we're gonna do. See, this is really good because the sauce has a bit of the seafood flavor. And then, I was trying scallops off camera the whole time, so those are good too. And then yeah, so the sauce, red pepper, onions. This is a really good dish. So, things to remember. I personally would not do the oregano, and this is actually the second time, and now I think I understand the mistake, so the next time I'll do it. Is that when you put pasta into the sauce, there's no water to release, so it doesn't make it watery. But with my chicken parm, I put cabbage in, and with this one, of course, I put it from frozen, so it looks like it released a lot of water into the sauce, made it liquidy. So I would cook it off, cook it somewhere else, and then dump it in, or just keep them two separate and then pour it on top, the liquidy. Like, the flavor's still there, it's just the consistency is not that I want. But like I said, I'm still learning how to do this, so this is why we do it. But this is really good, and keto doesn't have to be boring, and this is absolutely healthy. So hopefully you can stick with it long term, and that's it.
Okay, so I'm back again real quick. So I kept this going for a little while on a medium heat, and I took all the vegetables out and just let the sauce continue to cook. And this is exactly how I wanted it to come out all along. You see, when you drag across, there's a little trail, it's thick, and this is how it's supposed to come out the entire time. So like I said before, keeping those vegetables out is going to be key, and then putting it on the sauce, and that is what I'm doing here as I finish up my dinner. Thanks for watching.
I'll tell you, the problem with gyms opening it back up is that I haven't been this sore in like 5 months.